Aluminum and iron tariffs. Well, what does that really mean? It means a lot more than you probably think. So he's going to raise 25%, and then they'll have a counter raise of 25%. That cancels the big guys out. They don't lose anything, all right? That's like I borrow $5 from you, and then you borrow 5 from me. Okay? And keep in mind, these huge companies, these owners, these big owners, they're part of the bloodline, okay? They don't care. They are going to knock the unions out. Automotive, um, even carpenters, electricians, you name it, okay? Worked union for many years as a carpenter, building bridges, high rises, factories, whatever. Now I have worked both sides. And I'm not saying unions are great, but the only reason that they ever had unions in, keep in mind, they had to get us to this point, okay? When you have a union wage involved, let's say it's $40 an hour, that makes a comparable wage for the people that aren't union, that the big wigs have to kind of get close to for the non-union wage. They have to, or the masses would stampede them. There's way more of us than them, okay? It's literally probably 1,000 to 1. That's probably the real numbers. So these big automotive companies are going to say, oh, we can't do that. We can't afford it. Real simple math here. I borrow 5 from you. You borrow 5 from me. That's their tariffs, okay? And then the companies will act like it hurt them, when in fact it does not. You got to keep in mind the sinister depth of this. This isn't about not making cars. They don't want any more cars made and other things because they're not planning on very many people being here, okay? They don't need a bunch of cars made when they plan on depopulating this place all at once. I hate to put that out there, but that's, cut and dry to me. Now, I've worked non-union, union. Like I said, I'm not agreeing with union, but I'm telling you that's how the non-union and union wage thing works. If not for a higher paid money for a job, there's nothing to compare it to underneath the non-union. And of course, that's nothing against non-union. I've worked both sides. In fact, my union has tried to throw me out many times over the years because they'd catch me working non-union. I told them, oh, go ahead, do whatever you need to do. And I don't care. Well, I work both sides until whenever I want, right? They're going to tell me where I can work. But kind of got off track here a little bit, sorry. So that's not going to just affect the automotive. That's all unions, okay? All unions are sistered into one another. All of them. Now, the automotive is considered one of the biggest ones. It's pretty big, but the carpenters is actually the biggest as far as I know. And your other trades. So these places aren't going to need their factories remodeled. They're not going to need millwrights to go in there and change the machinery out. That's another union. They're not going to need to build new factories because they're not planning on making any more cars or stuff with aluminum. Okay, that's not just cars. The goal here is, I don't want to keep saying this, but you got to look further ahead. They're all sinister, okay? They don't want a lot of stuff being made because they don't plan for a lot of us being here. How will this affect the insurance? Well, you have these insurance companies that are absolutely thieves at the top. Satan's seed line again. Have got more money taken from people than you could ever imagine, right? they will now be able to say, well, the wages are so low, we can't afford the health care to cover these folks anymore, union or non-union. Guarantee you, watch and see. It won't be long either. So then they'll have to say, well, we need a world health care or United States coverage over just everyone, right? Because everyone's wages are going to drop because there's no longer a union wage to compare the non-union wage to. Everybody's going to make the $2 an hour thing. And I'm not joking. Okay? And the insurance companies won't be hurting either. You got to understand. If you can understand that there's a literal seed line of Satan here that is getting ready to try to wipe this place out. At the top. You know, the people that own Ford or Chrysler or Progressive, they are not regular folks. In fact, they're not human, okay? Seed line of Satan. There's nothing that won't affect. And the masses believe in the tariffs. Well, we got to pay more. The tariffs got raised. If you raise me $25 and I raise you 25% or whatever, dollars, whatever you want to call this, cancels out, okay? Nothing was harmed on them. And money is fake at their level anyway. This is going to be bad quick. The unions, like I said, I do not 100% agree with them. Now, they were forced to treat their workers better. That's one of the reasons I went there. But then again, you know, they don't really treat them all that great. You wouldn't believe the stories I could tell you. So that's what's coming, and that's why the aluminum and iron tariffs. And I haven't done the numbers on that, but I guarantee it adds up to his name, number, and image. I will guarantee you. Because giving power to the name, number, and image of the beast system, doesn't just mean positive energy. They're feeding off of negative energy, anxiety, stress, depression, you name it. That's their favorite food, okay? They're parasites. They cannot live. They would no longer be here if they weren't feeding off of everyone else. Literally. The energy and life that's within you is being sucked out by parasites. And when I say you, I don't mean you guys. It's a wide statement, right? I just seen this little news clip, so I thought I'd cover it, but it's never what you think, okay? They're about at least 5, 7, maybe even 10 steps ahead of the masses. When they say tariffs, everybody's worried about things going up. You gotta look at the bigger picture, dig deep. You gotta always dig that well, deep. Well, who would it affect? The factories. Who owns the factories? Satan's seed line. Okay, why would they want too many cars being made? Or computers or phones, whatever it is. They're cutting down on the numbers of things. You got to ask yourselves why. It's very clear where this is headed. They're going to have to do something major to the majority of the population. Now, keep in mind they're parasites, so before they do this, they are going to feed as much as they can off of us. How much anxiety and stress do you think a family feels when the mom and dad can't feed the kids right? They themselves can't even eat or get to the doctors. Not that doctors are all that great anymore, but you know what I mean. That's what these eternal bastards are doing. I'm going to put this out there again. Who are you praying for? Okay? What are you praying for them? I don't want to be combative about this, but look at the Bible deeper. He told you who your enemies were. He said to trample on them. Are you trampling on them? You should at least be trampling on them spiritually. Your prayers should be that they are handed over for the destruction of their flesh continually in this hour. They're not going to repent and come out and hang out with you to church or down at your house and read the Bible with you. He told us they are of their father, the devil. I'll say it again. He said, they are of their father, the devil. That means they're not our brothers and sisters and never could be, okay? He didn't say stepdad. They're not related at all. Pray for your enemies. Yes. Human enemies. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm definitely feeling the crunch, right? And I'm seeing it everywhere. Food prices went down. I've got family members right now that know, and they voted for him. Of course, votes aren't real, but I'm saying they voted. He said day one, food prices and gas was going to go down. Food prices have gone up a lot. Indiana, $7 for or over 6 something. I don't even like saying these numbers anymore. Went up a couple dollars or more since he's been in. So, hang on, it's going to get rough, folks. And of course, we have the Lord, right? We do have the Lord. All glory and honor to Him.